He freezes. Mid-conversation, wine glass halfway to his lips. Across the ballroom, a woman has just entered. Stunning. Confidence. Every head turns. He can't look away. Then recognition hits. That's his wife. The wife he's kept home for 3 years. The wife he never brings to events. The wife he tells colleagues doesn't exist. She's here, in a gown he's never seen, talking to people who matter, and she's not asking permission. William Bennett has spent 3 years hiding Brianna, 3 years telling his world she's too sick, too anxious, too different. 3 years keeping his black wife invisible. Tonight, she's the only person anyone can see. And in 60 seconds, when the CEO takes the microphone and says her name, William will learn what his wife actually does all day. Want to know what she built while he wasn't looking? Let's start 3 years ago. 3 years earlier, December 2021. William Bennett's car skids on black ice. Highway 77, just past midnight. The vehicle flips. Fuel leaks. Fire starts. Brianna Evans, driving home from her night shift, sees the flames. She stops, pulls him out, burns her hands doing it. 15 seconds later, the car explodes. Local news runs the story. Woman saves driver from burning vehicle. William's mother watches it on loop, cries, calls her son in the hospital. You owe that girl your life. William, drugged on painkillers, agrees to anything. A reporter asks what he'll do to repay her. The words come out before he thinks, whatever she needs. Anything. The clip goes viral. 500,000 views. When Brianna mentions she's aging out of transitional housing, William's mother makes the decision for him. You'll marry her. Give her a family, a home. It's what Bennett does. William says yes, because his mother threatens his inheritance, because Southern honor demands it, because 500,000 people watched him promise. He marries Brianna in May 2022, and he's hated her ever since. Now, morning. Their kitchen in Charlotte. William leaves for work without speaking. He never says goodbye. Gratitude died the day he signed the marriage license. Brianna stands at the sink in an old sweatshirt, hair tied back, no makeup. This is how William likes her. Small, forgettable, proof that the accident, that moment of weakness, doesn't define him. Don't wait up, he says from the doorway. Client dinner tonight. She nods, doesn't ask where, doesn't ask if she can come. She learned years ago not to ask. The door closes. His car pulls away. Brianna counts to 60. Then she moves. The sweatshirt comes off, the loose pants. She walks to the bedroom, unlocks the door to the office William thinks is for storage. MacBook on. 3 monitors light up. Her real clothes, sharp, professional, hang in the closet he's never opened. Calendar loads. 3 Zoom meetings today, 2 contract negotiations, 1 board call. Email refreshes. Subject line, Q4 dividend payment, $340,000 deposited. Another email. From her attorney. Audio files secured, 12 recordings all clear. Say the word. Brianna opens a folder on her desktop. Title, Evans Consulting LLC, CEO Dashboard. Revenue year to date, $52 million. For 3 years, while William told his colleagues she was too anxious to leave the house, Brianna built this. A consulting firm specializing in corporate equity and restructuring. Clients she's never met in person. Contracts negotiated over video calls while William sat in traffic. She uses her maiden name professionally. Evans, not Bennett. No one in William's world knows B. Evans Consulting exists, and no one knows the CEO is the wife he hides. By the time William comes home each night, the monitors are dark. The office is locked. Brianna is back in the sweatshirt, reheating leftovers, playing the role he needs her to play. Invisible. Dependent. Grateful. She's been recording his voice for 2 years. Every racist comment, every cruel dismissal, every moment he forgets she's in the next room. Nobody would want her. I'm stuck. She doesn't fit. I can't bring her anywhere. It's embarrassing, honestly. 12 recordings, timestamps, context. All saved in a cloud drive William doesn't know exists. She's also been watching his company, Bennett Industries, reviewing their client list, their finances, their partnerships. One name keeps appearing, TechCorp. And Brianna knows TechCorp very, very well. Tomorrow, William will receive an invitation to the TechCorp annual gala. He'll assume it's for networking, for his big deal, for the career boost he's been chasing for months. He'll have no idea his wife received the same invitation. As a board member, Brianna saves her work, locks the computer, changes back into the sweatshirt. Tonight, she'll sit quietly while William talks about his day. She'll nod. She'll listen. She'll be exactly what he expects. But tomorrow? Tomorrow, she stops pretending. The invitation arrives on a Tuesday. William opens the envelope at breakfast, coffee in one hand. Embossed card, heavy stock. TechCorp logo at the top. Annual Gala, December 5th, celebrating 30 years of innovation and partnership. He grins. This is it, the event where deals get made, where handshakes become contracts, where Bennett Industries finally breaks into the big leagues. Black tie, he reads aloud, +1 welcome. Brianna, across the table in her usual sweatshirt, keeps her eyes on her cereal. Not that I'd bring anyone, William mutters. These things are work, not social. She nods, stirs her spoon, says nothing. William slides the invitation into his briefcase, already mentally drafting his pitch to the TechCorp executives, already imagining the commission if this deal closes. $5 million, multi-year contract. His name is at the top of the quarterly reports. He leaves for work humming. Brianna waits until his car disappears. Then she walks to the mailbox. Inside, another envelope. Same heavy stock, same embossed logo. But this one is addressed to Ms. Brianna Evans, board member. She opens it slowly, reads the note inside. Brianna, we're thrilled you'll join us for the gala. As always, we've arranged car service and styling. Looking forward to celebrating with you in person. It's been too long since Atlanta. Best, Richard. Richard Carter, TechCorp CEO. A man who's never met William Bennett. A man who's worked with B. Evans Consulting for 2 years. A man who has no idea B. Evans is Mrs. Bennett. Brianna folds the invitation, puts it in her pocket, goes back inside. In her locked office, she opens her laptop, pulls up the file she's been building for 6 months. Project Reckoning. Inside, a timeline, a guest list, seating charts for the gala, audio files, financial records. Everything she'll need for one night, December 5th. 4 weeks away. She opens another file. Bennett Industries internal documents. William doesn't know she has access. Doesn't know that when he uses their shared computer, she's watching. Doesn't know she's been forwarding his emails to herself for a year. There it is. The proposal he's been working on. The pitch to TechCorp. $5 million over 3 years. Exclusive partnership. His signature at the bottom. Brianna reads it twice. Then she opens a separate document. TechCorp board meeting minutes. From last month. An agenda item buried on page 3. Vendor review, Bennett Industries. Concerns re workplace culture and discrimination complaints. Recommend investigation before contract approval. The complaints came from her. Anonymous tips sent to TechCorp's ethics hotline. Documented incidents, patterns, names, dates. She's been building the case for months. William thinks he's closing a deal. He has no idea he's walking into an execution. Brianna picks up her phone, texts her attorney. December 5th, confirmed. Make sure everything's ready. The response comes immediately. Already done. Board's been briefed. They're with you. She texts her stylist next. I need a gown, something he won't recognize me in. Say no more. One more text. To Richard Carter. Looking forward to the gala. There's something I need to discuss with the board that evening, in person. It's time. His reply. Understood. We'll make space. Whatever you need. Brianna closes her phone, sits back, breathes. For 3 years, she's played small. Let William think he won. Let him believe she was nothing. But she hasn't been nothing. She's been patient. Patient while she built a $50 million company. Patient while she gathered evidence. Patient while she cultivated allies William doesn't even know exist. Patient while she became a 30% shareholder in the company he's desperate to impress. Tonight, William will come home talking about the gala, about his strategy, about how this deal will change everything. And Brianna will nod, will listen, will let him believe he's in control. But in 4 weeks, when she walks into that ballroom in a gown he's never seen, when the spotlight finds her, when Richard Carter introduces her to a room full of executives, William's control will evaporate. He'll learn what she built, who she became, what she's capable of, and he'll learn it in front of everyone. Brianna locks her computer, changes back into the sweatshirt, starts dinner. When William comes home that night, she's exactly where he expects her to be. In the kitchen. Small, quiet, invisible. He doesn't notice the invitation in her pocket. Doesn't notice the slight smile when he talks about December 5th. Doesn't notice that his wife stopped being invisible 3 years ago. He just forgot to look. November rolls in. 3 weeks until the gala. Brianna's calendar fills with appointments William knows nothing about. Stylist consultations at 10 a.m. when he's in meetings. Attorney calls at 2 p.m. when he's at lunch. Board prep sessions at 4 p.m. when he's stuck in traffic. Her attorney, Margaret Hartwell, sends updates every other day. Recordings authenticated, metadata confirmed. 12 instances of verbal abuse, 6 containing racial slurs, all admissible. Witness statements secured. 3 neighbors documented shouting. 2 former colleagues of his confirm a pattern of racist comments about you. Financial records obtained. Joint account shows he controls all household spending. Your business accounts remain entirely separate. He has no legal claim. Brianna reads each update in her locked office, files everything in organized folders, evidence, testimony, timeline. She's building a case that doesn't need a courtroom, just an audience. Meanwhile, Bennett Industries is imploding in slow motion, and William doesn't see it. Brianna's been watching for months. Employee reviews on Glassdoor mention discrimination. 3 complaints filed with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. All quietly settled. All documented. She sends the documentation to TechCorp's Ethics Committee. Anonymous, professional, thorough. The committee launches a quiet investigation. William doesn't know. His boss doesn't tell him. They're reviewing contracts, interviewing former employees, and checking records. William thinks the TechCorp deal is a sure thing. He has no idea they're deciding whether to blacklist his entire company. 2 weeks before the gala, Brianna meets her stylist at a boutique 40 minutes from home. Far enough that William's colleagues won't see her. Close enough that she can make it back before he gets home. The stylist, Angela, has worked with her for a year. Zoom fittings. Deliveries to a P.O. box. Clothing for meetings William never knew about. This time is different, Brianna says. This time I need him to not recognize me. Not immediately. Angela nods, understands. Transformation, not just polish. They select a gown, emerald silk, structured, elegant. Nothing like the loose, shapeless clothes William sees her in. Hair and makeup strategy, sleek updo, dramatic but refined. Jewelry, statement pieces, presence, undeniable. When you walk into that room, Angela says, everyone will look, including him. Especially him, Brianna replies. 1 week before the gala, she has a video call with Richard Carter and 3 other TechCorp board members. William is at a client dinner. Won't be home for hours. Richard's face fills the screen. Brianna, good to finally do this in person next week. Long overdue, she agrees. Another board member, Patricia, speaks. We've reviewed the Bennett Industries materials you sent, the ethics complaints, the patterns, and, Brianna keeps her voice steady, the proposal William Bennett submitted is strong on paper, but the culture concerns are significant. We're prepared to address this at the gala. In the executive session, you'll present your findings. And the other matter? Brianna asks. Richard nods. Your identity, the fact that you're his wife. We'll keep it confidential until you're ready to disclose. I'll disclose at the gala, publicly, after the board votes. Silence on the call. Then Patricia speaks. That's bold. It's necessary, Brianna says. He spent 3 years hiding me. I'm returning the favor. With interest. The board members exchange glances. Richard clears his throat. We support you. Unanimously. When you're ready to go public, we'll back your play. Thank you. After the call, Brianna sits in the quiet office. 3 years of preparation. 3 years of silence. 3 years of letting William think he'd won. All leading to one night. She opens another file. William's calendar. He's been obsessing over the gala, rehearsing his pitch, researching TechCorp executives, planning his approach. He has no idea the executives already know who's more valuable, and it's not him. 5 days before the gala, William brings home a new suit. Charcoal gray, expensive. He hangs it in the closet with care. Big night Friday, he says at dinner. Could change everything for us. Brianna looks up from her plate. That's great. TechCorp's CEO will be there, Richard Carter. I've been trying to get a meeting with him for a year. Friday, I'll have his attention. I'm sure you will, Brianna says. William doesn't hear the double meaning, doesn't see the slight smile. He's too focused on his own reflection, imagining success. That night, after he's asleep, Brianna pulls out her own outfit, the emerald gown. She tries it on in the locked office, looks at herself in the full-length mirror. This is who she is. Not the woman in the sweatshirt, not the woman he hides, not the woman who saved his life and got repaid with shame. This is the woman who built an empire in secret, who became powerful without his permission, who's about to remind him that underestimating someone doesn't make them weak. It makes you blind. She takes off the gown, hang it carefully, locks the office door. 3 more days. William spends Wednesday and Thursday networking, calling contacts, confirming who will be at the gala, making sure people know he's coming. He mentions the event to colleagues, to clients, to anyone who'll listen. TechCorp Gala Friday. Big opportunity. No one mentions that Brianna Evans, the consultant who's been quietly revolutionizing their vendor relationships, will also be there. No one connects B. Evans to Mrs. Bennett. No one tells William his wife owns 30% of the company he's trying to impress. By Thursday night, William is confident, prepared, ready. Brianna is ready too, but for something entirely different. Friday morning, the day of the gala. William wakes early. Shower, shave, cologne, the new suit. He looks at himself in the mirror and sees success. Brianna wakes at the same time, but she stays in the old sweatshirt, plays her role one last time. At breakfast, William talks strategy. I'll focus on Richard Carter first, then the CFO, then the board members I can identify. Brianna nods, sips her coffee, says nothing. You'll be okay tonight? He asks. I'll be late. I'll be fine, she says. He leaves at 7, kisses her forehead without thinking, a gesture of ownership, not affection. The door closes. His car pulls away. Brianna counts to 60. Then she picks up her phone, texts Angela. "He just left. I'm ready." The response comes immediately. "The car arrives at 4. Let's make history." 4 p.m. Friday. William is at the office, finalizing his pitch, checking his tie in the bathroom mirror, rehearsing his opening line for Richard Carter. At home, a black town car pulls into the driveway. Angela steps out. Rolling garment bag, makeup case, hair tools. She rings the doorbell. Brianna opens the door in her sweatshirt, smiles. "Come in." They move quickly. Angela has 3 hours to complete the transformation. 3 hours before William comes home to change. 3 hours before Brianna needs to leave. The gown goes on first. Emerald silk catches the light. Angela zips the back, adjusts the shoulders. Hair next. The messy bun William is used to becomes a sleek French twist. Elegant. Intentional. Makeup follows. Subtle but striking. Nothing overdone. Just enough to command attention. Jewelry last. Drop earrings. A thin gold necklace. Simple. Expensive. Angela steps back. Looks at her work. He's going to lose his mind. That's the idea, Brianna says. At 5:30, William texts, "Leaving office now, home at 20, then heading straight to the gala." Brianna reads the message, doesn't reply. Angela packs quickly. "Car service arrives at 6. You'll get there before him. Find your seat. Let him see you when you're already in position." Perfect. 5:45. William's car pulls into the driveway. Angela's already gone. The garment bag, the makeup case, all evidence, hidden in the locked office. But Brianna is still in the gown, still in heels, still transformed. She hears William's key in the lock, hears him call out, "I'm home." She doesn't answer. He walks into the living room, stops cold. For 3 seconds, he doesn't recognize her. Sees a woman in his house, elegant and unfamiliar. His brain tries to make sense of it. Then it clicks. "Brianna?" She turns, meets his eyes, says nothing. "What are you wearing?" His voice is tight, confused. "Why are you dressed like that?" "I'm going out." "Out where?" An event. William's face shifts, confusion to suspicion. What event? The Tech Corp Gala. The silence is sharp, dangerous. "What?" His voice drops. "How do you even know about that?" "I was invited." "You were—" He stops, shakes his head. "That's not possible. That's a corporate event. You don't work. You don't know anyone there." Brianna picks up her clutch from the side table, checks her phone. "My car will be here in 10 minutes. "Your car?" William's voice rises. "What car? I didn't arrange a car." "I arranged my own." He steps closer, not threatening, but invasive. "Brianna, what is this? Some kind of joke?" "No joke. You can't go to that gala. You don't belong there." She looks at him then. Really look at him. 3 years of being told she doesn't belong. 3 years of being hidden. 3 years of silence. "I belong there more than you do," she says quietly. William's face reddens. "You're embarrassing yourself. And me. I have important people to meet tonight. Deals to close. You showing up in some costume pretending you're someone you're not." "I'm not pretending anything." "Then what are you doing?" "Going to work." He laughs, sharp, bitter. "Work? You don't have work." Brianna doesn't respond. Just watch him. Outside, a car pulls up. Town car. Black, professional. She walks to the door. "Brianna." William's voice cracks. If you go to that event, if you embarrass me in front of those people, we're done. Do you understand? Done. She opens the door. Look back at him. 3 years of threats. 3 years of control. We've been done for a long time, William. You just didn't notice. She steps outside. The driver opens the car door. She slides in. Through the window, she sees William standing in the doorway, frozen, confused, angry. She doesn't look back. The car pulls away. William grabs his phone. Call her. It goes to voicemail. He texts. Turn around. Now. The message is delivered. Read. No response. He stands in the empty house. His wife just left to his event. In a gown he's never seen, in a car he didn't arrange, and he has no idea what's about to happen. 20 minutes later, William arrives at the Grand Plaza Hotel. Parks, straightens his tie, forces himself to focus. The gala. The deal. Richard Carter. That's what matters. He pushes Brianna out of his mind. She's probably waiting in the lobby. Lost. Out of place. He'll deal with her later. He walks through the hotel doors, follow the signs to the ballroom. And that's when everything changes. William walks into the Grand Plaza ballroom. Crystal chandeliers, string quartet, 200 people networking. He scans for Brianna. Doesn't see her. Good. Maybe she went home. He spots a Tech Corp executive near the bar. Start walking over. He has no idea what his wife built while he wasn't looking. Let's rewind. May 2022. 1 week after the wedding. Brianna sits in their kitchen. William is at work. She opens her laptop. Types. How to start a consulting business. She has $200, the last of her savings. She uses it to register an LLC. B. Evans Consulting creates a website, lists her services, operational efficiency, equity consulting, financial restructuring. Uses a P.O. box. Nothing connects to William's house. First client, a women's shelter in Raleigh. They need grant writing help. Brianna charges $500, writes it at the kitchen table while William thinks she's watching TV. The shelter gets funded. $60,000. They refer her to another organization. By month 6, Brianna has 12 clients, all remote, all paid to a business account William doesn't know exists. Revenue year 1, $430,000. William thinks she does nothing. Year 2, 2023. Brianna targets mid-size companies, diversity audits, restructuring. They pay well. A tech startup in Austin needs help before their Series B funding. She delivers in 6 weeks. They are close to $30 million. Pay her $200,000, plus 3% equity. That equity is now worth $800,000. More clients follow. She's on Zoom 8 hours a day, teaching companies how to be better. Revenue year 2, $2.1 million. William still thinks she's unemployed. During this time, she's also listening. William takes work calls at home. Doesn't whisper. Doesn't think about thin walls. She starts recording in month 8. Small voice recorder in the kitchen. The things he says to colleagues. The wife's situation is complicated. Don't ask. She wouldn't be comfortable in those settings. It's a cultural thing. She wouldn't fit. Then the racism starts. She doesn't style herself well. That's just how they are. You can't really change someone's nature. And when he's angry, the slurs come out. She records 12 instances over 18 months, all time-stamped, all backed up. Year 3, 2024. Everything shifts. A client refers Brianna to Tech Corp. They need a consultant for their vendor equity program. 6-month contract. Richard Carter, the CEO, calls her. Your references are incredible. When can you start? Immediately. The contract is worth $300,000, but it leads to something bigger. TechCorp's board is buying back shares from an early investor, 30% of the company, $40 million. Richard mentions it on a call. Wish we could find the right buyer. Brianna has $4 million in liquid assets from consulting. She approaches a private equity firm. They agree to back her. She submits a bid, not the highest, but the most aligned with TechCorp's values. January 2024. The board votes. Unanimous. Brianna Evans becomes a 30% shareholder. Her stake is worth $42 million. William is in the next room watching football. But she's not done. She starts investigating Bennett Industries. William uses their shared computer for work, doesn't log out properly. She sees the emails, the culture, the buried complaints. 3 former employees filed EEOC complaints, all settled quietly, all documented. Brianna downloads everything, sends it anonymously to TechCorp's ethics committee. She reaches out to William's former colleagues, gets statements. He said you were sick, one tells her. Every single time. We wondered if you were real. Another. He said you wouldn't be comfortable. The way he said it, I understood what he meant. She collects it all. Recordings, statements, financial records showing William's control, evidence of Bennett Industries' toxic culture. By November 2024, she has everything she needs, and she has something William desperately wants. His $5 million deal goes through her board vote. She's been patient, building, waiting. Now it's time. Back to the gala. Present day. William is at the bar, ordering whiskey. The bartender hands it over. Enjoying the event? Getting there. Big night for me. For a lot of people, the bartender replies. William doesn't ask what he means. Across the room, Richard Carter greets guests near the stage. William watches, waits for the right moment to approach. This is what he's been working toward. He doesn't notice the empty seat at the head table. Nameplate. Ms. Brianna Evans, board member. He doesn't notice the printed program. Remarks by board member Brianna Evans. He doesn't notice the executives gathering near the stage, all waiting. William finishes his drink, straightens his tie. Time to network. He starts walking toward Richard Carter. The lights dim. The string quartet stops. A spotlight hits the stage. Richard Carter walks to the microphone. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for TechCorp's 30th anniversary celebration. Applause. William claps, positions himself where Richard can see him. Tonight is about partnership, about the people who make our mission possible. More applause. Before dinner, I want to introduce someone very special. A board member instrumental in our growth. Someone who embodies everything we value. Integrity, vision, excellence. William isn't really listening. He's rehearsing his pitch. Please join me in welcoming me to the stage. William glances toward the entrance. Still no Brianna. Good. She gave up. Ms. Brianna Evans. William's brain doesn't process it at first. Common name. Probably someone else. Then he sees movement. A woman in an emerald gown walks into the spotlight. William's drink slips. He catches it. Barely. That's not possible. The woman on stage is poised. Confidence. She walks to the microphone like she owns it, because she does. The woman on stage is his wife. 400 people are watching her, and William can't look away. Brianna stands at the microphone, spotlight on her. 400 people watched. William is frozen. His drink was forgotten. His pitch was forgotten. Everything except the woman in emerald who looks nothing like his wife. But she is. Richard Carter gestures toward her. Brianna has been advising our board for the past year. Her work on our equity initiative has been transformational. Applause fills the room. Brianna smiles. Thank you, Richard. I'm honored to be here. William's phone buzzes. He ignores it. TechCorp's commitment to equity isn't just words, Brianna continues. It's embedded in every partnership, every contract, every decision, which is why the board takes vendor relationships seriously. We evaluate not just capability, but culture. William's stomach drops. Vendors. Partnerships. She's talking about Bennett Industries. He pushes through the crowd toward the stage. People turn, annoyed. Brianna. His voice is harsh. She doesn't acknowledge him. Richard Carter notices. Steps toward William. Sir, we're in the middle of remarks. That's my wife, William says. Richard blinks. Your wife? That woman, on stage. Richard looks at Brianna, back at William. His expression shifts. Mr. Bennett, perhaps we should speak after the remarks. I need to speak to her now. That's not possible. Security approaches. Sir, please step back. William looks around. Everyone is watching. His face burns. He steps back, doesn't leave. Brianna finishes, professional, controlled. The applause is genuine. She walks off stage toward a group of board members. William intercepts her. What are you doing? Working, Brianna says. Working? You don't work? Careful. People are watching. He lowers his voice. We need to talk. Now. I'm busy. A board member approaches. Older woman, elegant. Ms. Evans, Patricia Morrison, we spoke on the phone. Brianna's face transforms. Warm. Patricia. So good to meet in person. Patricia looks at William. And you are? Brianna answers. This is William Bennett, my husband. Patricia's eyebrows rise. I see. Mr. Bennett, your wife has been invaluable to us. Her work on the vendor equity review has saved us from significant missteps. Vendor equity review. William's proposal, his deal. Brianna's been reviewing it. If you'll excuse us, Brianna says to William, Patricia and I have matters to discuss. We're not done, William says. Brianna looks at him. 3 years of silence. Yes, she says. We are. She walks away. Patricia follows. William stands alone. Guests flowing around him. His phone buzzes. Text from his boss. William, is TechCorp board member Brianna Evans your wife? William types. Yes. We need to talk. Tomorrow. First thing. William pockets his phone. Across the room, Brianna laughs with Patricia and 2 executives. Comfortable, natural. She catches his eye, doesn't smile, turns away. A waiter approaches. Sir, dinner is being served. Your seat? William checks his ticket. Table 12, near the back. Mid-level employees. He looks at the head table. Brianna's nameplate. She's sitting with the executives, the decision-makers, the people he's been trying to impress. And they already know her. Trust her. Value her. More than they value him. William walks to table 12. Sits. The others introduce themselves. Junior analysts, new hires, no one who matters. From his seat, he sees Brianna at the head table. Richard talking to her. She's engaged, laughing. His phone buzzes again. Unknown number. Mr. Bennett, this is Margaret Hartwell, attorney for Brianna Evans. We need to schedule a meeting. Documents require your signature. Please respond. William deletes it. This isn't real. It's a mistake, a misunderstanding. Tomorrow, Brianna will explain, will apologize, will go back to being who she was, the woman who needs him. Across the room, Brianna raises her wine glass, toasts with the board, and William realizes she doesn't look like someone who needs anyone. She looks like someone who's exactly where she belongs. Dinner is served. William doesn't taste it. At the head table, an executive leans toward Brianna, whispers something. She nods. They stand, walk toward a side room. Richard follows. 3 other board members join them. They're having a meeting during the gala, and William isn't invited. He watches them disappear through the door, watches it close behind them, watches his deal, his future, his control, all of it, walk away with his wife. The woman he's been hiding for 3 years just became the most important person in the room, and he's sitting at table 12 with strangers who don't know his name. 20 minutes pass. Brianna doesn't return. William's table mates make small talk. He doesn't participate. Finally, the side door opens. Brianna emerges, Richard beside her. They're shaking hands, smiling. Something's been decided. Brianna returns to the head table, sits, continues her conversation like nothing happened. William stands, walks to the exit. No one notices him leave. The side room where Brianna met with the board is quiet now, empty. She stands at the window, looks out at Charlotte's skyline. The city lights blur slightly. She's been holding it together for hours, days, years. Now, for just a moment, she lets herself feel it. 3 years ago, she pulled a man from a burning car, burned her hands, didn't think twice. He repaid her with a cage. Not a literal one, but close enough. A house she couldn't leave, a life she couldn't live, a name she couldn't use. William told people she was sick, anxious, couldn't handle the world. The truth was simpler. He was ashamed. Ashamed she was black. Ashamed of where she came from. Ashamed he owed her his life. So he made her small, made her invisible, made her nothing. Or tried to. Brianna looks at her hands. The scars from the fire are still there. Faint. Most people don't notice them. She notices. Every time she signs a contract. Every time she shakes hands with a client. Every time she builds something William doesn't know about. She notices. 3 years. 1,095 days of pretending. Of playing the role he needed. Of being the woman he could tolerate. 1,095 days of listening to him talk about her like she wasn't human. Like she was a burden, a mistake, a charity case. She recorded his voice, but she didn't need recordings to remember. She doesn't fit. You can't bring someone like that to these things. It's embarrassing. Not the words themselves, the ease with which he said them, the way he forgot she existed, forgot she could hear, the way he looked through her. Brianna closes her eyes. She didn't build Evans Consulting for revenge, not at first. She built it to survive, to have something that was hers, to prove, if only to herself, that she wasn't nothing. But somewhere in year 2, it became more than that. She started getting emails from other women, other people of color, people working for companies like Bennett Industries, people who were being erased, silenced, pushed out. They needed help, needed someone to see them. So she did. Every client she took, every company she restructured, every toxic culture she helped dismantle. It wasn't just business, it was a witness. This is why tonight matters. Not because William will be humiliated, though he will be. Not because she'll reclaim her dignity, though she will. But because every person sitting in that ballroom who's ever been told they don't belong, they need to see this. They need to see that silence isn't weakness, that patience isn't passivity. They need to see that you can be hidden and still build an empire, that you can be dismissed and still be powerful, that the people who try to erase you don't get to write your ending. A knock at the door. Patricia Morrison steps in. "We're about to reconvene," she says gently. "Are you ready?" Brianna wipes her eyes, turns. "Yes." Patricia sees her face, understands. "What he did to you, what we're about to do to him. You're sure?" "I'm sure. Once we start, there's no going back." "I don't want to go back." Patricia nods. "Then let's finish this." They walk toward the door. Brianna pauses, looks back at the window, at her reflection in the glass. 3 years ago, William saved himself by marrying her. Tonight, she saves herself by leaving him. Not physically. Not yet. That will come. But in every way that matters, the woman walking out of this room isn't his wife anymore. She's free. And he's about to learn what that costs. Brianna straightens her shoulders, smooths her gown. "Let's go," she says. Patricia opens the door. The ballroom noise floods in. Conversation. Laughter. Glasses clinking. Brianna steps back into the light. William is still at table 12, watching her. His face was tight with something between fear and fury. She doesn't look at him. Not yet. Richard Carter is at the podium, waiting. He sees her, nods. Time for the main event. Richard Carter returns to the podium, taps the microphone. "If I could have everyone's attention. One more piece of business before we continue." The room quiets. Guests return to seats. William sits rigid at table 12. Brianna stands near the side room, Patricia beside her. 3 other board members join them. United. Richard continues. Tech Corp takes partnerships seriously. We work with companies that share our values, companies that practice equity, not just talk about it. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Over 6 months, our board reviewed vendor relationships. We examined proposals, but also culture. How companies treat their people. William's hands grip the table edge. One proposal required deeper examination. Bennett Industries submitted a $5 million bid. On paper, it's competitive, but paper doesn't tell the whole story. Silence. Richard looks at Brianna. Board member Brianna Evans led this review. She brought concerns we couldn't ignore. He gestures. Brianna walks to the stage. Every step is confident. At the podium, Richard steps aside. Brianna faces 400 people, William among them. What I'm about to share isn't easy, but it's necessary. She pauses, breathes. 3 years ago, I saved a man's life. That man became my husband. For 3 years, he's tried to make me invisible. The room is motionless. He told colleagues I was sick, that I couldn't handle events, that I didn't fit. He hid me because I'm black, because I came from foster care, because he was ashamed. William stands. This isn't... Security moves. He sits. While he hid me, I built something. A consulting firm. A career. Relationships with companies like this one. I wasn't invisible. Just invisible to him. Patricia steps forward. Stands beside Brianna. Then another board member. Another. 5 people on stage. All supporting her. We believe her, Patricia says. Not just her word. We have evidence. Richard speaks. Bennett Industries has a pattern. Discrimination complaints, settlements, culture protecting the wrong people. He looks at William's table. We cannot partner with a company operating this way. Another board member adds, the tech industry has a diversity problem. We choose not to contribute to it. We choose better. A woman at table 5 stands. I worked at Bennett Industries, left because of the culture, filed a complaint. They paid me to be quiet. Another person stands, different table. Same. Then another, and another. 5 former employees, all with stories, all silent until now. William's face drains. This isn't just about him and Brianna. This is systemic. Brianna sees them standing. Recognition floods her. These are people she contacted, people who agreed to be here, to speak. She's not alone. The community she built over 3 years, through consulting, advocacy, quiet resistance, they're here. Patricia whispers, You gave them courage. Brianna shakes her head. They always had it. They just needed permission. Richard addresses the room. This is what accountability looks like. Not just policies. Action. The 5 former employees remain standing. Others begin to stand. People who've experienced similar patterns elsewhere. People who believe her. 10 people standing, then 15, then 20. A movement in one ballroom. William shrinks in his seat. Surrounded by people standing in solidarity with his wife, the wife he tried to erase just became the center of something he can't control. Richard Carter waits for the room to settle. 20 people are still standing. The energy has shifted. "Thank you," he says to those standing. "Your courage matters." They sit slowly. The room hums with tension. Richard continues. The board has made a decision regarding the Bennett Industries proposal. William leans forward. This is it. Despite everything, maybe the deal survives. Maybe the work stands on its own. Before we announce that decision, there's something you should know about Brianna Evans. Brianna stands beside Patricia. Calm. Ms. Evans isn't just a consultant. She's not just a board member. Richard pauses, lets it build. In January of this year, Brianna acquired a 30% ownership stake in Tech Corp. She is our largest individual shareholder. The room erupts, gasps, whispers, heads turning. William's world tilts. 30%. Shareholder. His wife. Richard's voice cuts through the noise. Which means any major contract, including the Bennett Industries proposal, requires her approval. William can't breathe. His $5 million deal, his career-making contract, his future. It goes through his wife, the wife he hid, the wife he told everyone was nothing. She owns the company. Patricia steps to the microphone. The board voted 1 hour ago in the side room. Brianna abstained from the initial discussion due to her personal connection to Mr. Bennett. William's hands are shaking. The vote was 4-0. Unanimous recommendation. Terminate all discussions with Bennett Industries. Blacklist the company from future consideration. The words land like hammers. Then we asked Brianna for her input. As majority shareholder, she has the final say. Every eye in the room turns to Brianna. She steps forward, looks directly at William for the first time since taking the stage. I vote to uphold the board's recommendation. Bennett Industries will not receive a contract from Tech Corp. Not now, not ever. Silence. Then Richard. The decision is final. William stands. His chair scrapes loudly. You can't do this! It's already done, Brianna says. This is personal. This is revenge. This is business, Patricia corrects. Your company has a documented pattern of discrimination. We have evidence, complaints, settlements, testimony from 5 employees in this room alone. She manipulated you, William says, his voice rising, desperate. She planned this. She built a $50 million company while you thought she was watching television, Richard interrupts. She advised our board for a year. She earned our trust. You didn't. Another board member speaks. The fact that you're married to her makes this worse, Mr. Bennett, not better. You had a brilliant, capable woman in your home, and you tried to make her invisible. That tells us everything about your judgment. William looks around the room. 400 faces. Some pitying, some disgusted, most simply watching his collapse. His phone buzzes. He ignores it. It buzzes again and again. He pulls it out. He pulls. Messages flooding in. His boss. Call me immediately. A colleague. Is this real? Your wife owns Tech Corp? Another. We just lost the contract? His business partner. William, what the hell is happening? The ballroom feels too small, too hot. Everyone is looking at him. The man whose wife doesn't exist. Except she does. And she's more successful than he'll ever be. Brianna watches him. No triumph in her expression. Just calm. This isn't about punishing you, William. It's about protecting the companies I work with, and the people who work for them. She turns to the room. TechCorp isn't perfect. No company is. But we're committed to doing better. That means choosing partners who share that commitment. Applause begins, scattered at first, then building. The room is applauding Brianna for her business, for her courage, for standing up. They're applauding the woman William spent 3 years hiding, and William is standing alone at table 12, watching his career end, watching his deal evaporate, watching his wife become the most respected person in the room. He walks toward the exit. No one stops him. At the door, he looks back once. Brianna is surrounded by board members, executives. People wanted to meet her, thank her, work with her. She doesn't look in his direction. He's already invisible to her. William leaves. The door closes behind him. The gala continues without him. Inside, Richard raises his glass. To Brianna Evans, and to the future we're building together. The room toasts. Brianna smiles. But her eyes are dry, clear. This isn't victory. It's justice. And it's just beginning. William doesn't go far, just to the lobby, phone pressed to his ear. His boss answers. What the hell, William? It's not what it looks like. Your wife owns 30% of TechCorp? They just blacklisted us. 5 million gone. Marcus, she manipulated Bo. You hit a multimillionaire CEO. You made her an enemy. You're done. The line goes dead. Footsteps behind him. Brianna, walking toward the exit. He blocks her path. We need to talk. No, we don't. You can't destroy my career. I didn't destroy anything. You did. This is revenge. This is the consequence. William's voice rises. I married you. I kept my promise. You resented me every day. You trapped me. That accident. I saved your life. Her voice is cold. You punished me for it. I gave you everything. You gave me nothing. I built everything myself, while you told people I was nothing. William's fists clench. You're still... The word dies, but Brianna hears it. Say it, she says. Say what you've been thinking. Silence. She pulls out her phone, taps. William's voice plays from the speaker. She doesn't fit. That's just how they are. Another clip. You can't change someone's nature. Another. Slurs. Racist language. 12 recordings. William's face drains. Where? Kitchen recorder. 2 years. You never noticed. That's illegal. North Carolina is single-party consent. I was there for every word. She pockets the phone. Your boss gets copies tomorrow, with witness statements, financial records, evidence of abuse. Brianna, I'm filing for divorce. You get nothing. Every asset I built is separate property. The house, my name, my money. I refinanced 2 years ago. He staggers. The house? You signed documents without reading them. She walks past him. 3 years. You could have seen me, valued me, treated me like your partner. At the door, she pauses. You chose shame. You chose to believe I was nothing. She looks back once. That was your mistake. She leaves. William stands alone, phone buzzing, messages flooding, his world unraveling. Inside, applause rises, someone toasting, celebrating her. He walks to his car. The deal is gone. The respect is gone. The control is gone. He drives to the house that isn't his, the life that was never real. Inside the ballroom, Brianna returns to the head table, board members standing as she approaches. Richard raises his glass. To new beginnings. To accountability, Patricia adds. They toast. Brianna sits. Someone asks about her next project. She answers. Professional. Engaged. But underneath, she feels it. 3 years of weightlifting. 3 years of pretending ending. She's not Mrs. Bennett anymore. She's Brianna Evans, CEO, shareholder, free. Margaret Hartwell, her attorney, appears at her elbow. Divorce papers ready. He'll be served Monday. Thank you. The recordings are documented. Witness statements signed. He can't fight this. He'll try. Let him. He'll lose. Brianna nods. Knows it's true. William spent 3 years trying to make her small. She spent 3 years building something he couldn't touch. Now he has nothing. And she has everything. Not just money, not just success. Something better. Her life back. Her voice back. Her power back. The gala continues. Music resumes. People dance. Brianna stays at the head table. Talking, planning, building. The woman who was supposed to be invisible just became impossible to ignore. And she's just getting started. 30 days later, the divorce is final. Filed December 10th. Finalized January 15th. Brianna keeps everything. William signs the papers in silence. Bennett Industries loses 3 more contracts in the following weeks. Word spreads. Companies don't want the liability. The PR nightmare. By February, the firm is restructuring. William is gone. Quietly let go. No severance. No reference. He moves to a smaller city. Different state. Starts over with nothing. Brianna expands. Evans Consulting opens a second office, then a third. Revenue doubles. She launches the Evans Foundation. $5 million dedicated to supporting foster youth aging out of the system. Education, housing, mentorship. No one should spend years wondering if they matter, she tells a reporter. Everyone matters. The reporter asks about her ex-husband. She declines to comment. Some stories don't need more words. TechCorp's stock rises. Board members credit Brianna's leadership, her vision. She's offered CEO positions, board seats, speaking engagements. She accepts some, declines others, builds on her terms. In her office, she keeps one photo, the house she grew up in, the foster home where she learned to survive. She didn't just survive. She built an empire. William tried to make her invisible, tried to erase her from his world. But here's what he forgot. You can't erase someone who refuses to disappear. 3 years ago, Brianna saved a man's life. He spent those years trying to diminish hers. She spent them building something he couldn't touch, couldn't control, couldn't take. Some people spend their lives being erased, and some erase back. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever been underestimated or hidden, drop a comment. Share your story. Because voices like Brianna's, voices like yours, they matter. Hit subscribe to Black Tales Stories. More stories of justice are coming. And remember, silence isn't weakness. Sometimes it's strategy.